gentlemen, from parts unknown, we have an interracial, intermingled, intersexual group of Caucasian men and wife beaters and black men of questionable melanin. Put your hands together, make some noise for Guns and Butter!
Whether you're chasing the bag or just trying to be a man, get ready to have your wallets, your mind, and your views on life challenged with Reckless Ray De Niro.
What is good, everybody? It's your boy. Hold up, let me switch microphones. They got me caught up. There we go. Let me switch, get the good sound in here. It's your boy Reckless Ray De Niro, and we are back at it again with another episode of Guns and Butter. Not just any episode, it is the monthly crypto roundup episode. Making some stuff happen. First and foremost, we got to give a shout out to the sponsor of me and the platform, Delta Investment Tracker app. If you are not using it, definitely give it a shot. I use it on the back end for a lot of my crypto tracking. I'm using it to track my traditional brokerage account now, both my active and my Roth. Not much going on in there. It's going to be boring for a little bit. We're building, we're grinding out, but obviously we are about due for the monthly breakdown of the finances. So I'm sure that there's going to be, I've already saw that my QYLD dividend has hit. I'm pretty sure that either most likely tomorrow, my YBT dividend will hit and we'll get to see what the next peg of that experiment looks like. I'm excited about it, though. We'll put it that way. But tonight, we are dedicating this to crypto. It's going to be a crypto Q&A, crypto answer, crypto talk, crypto. And it's going to be a good conversation because all conversations about crypto are good conversations. There were a couple of things in the news that I wanted to hit, but also I want to check out. Oh, geez, I can't see that app on here. I'm gonna have to add my AI apps over here, but we're gonna look up see what's trending in the Bitcoin news. Just read some headlines here. There's a lot of positive speculation, positive energy, positive momentum in the crypto space, period. Bitcoin's back over $70,000, which is awesome. You know, I don't trade Bitcoin. I don't try to swing trade. I think it's just going to be moving forward until institutions have firmly, I mean, they've pretty much taken over, but firmly taken over the space. It's going to be an act of setting yourself up to be in a worse position. If you're long Bitcoin, I don't understand people who try to swing trade it. Like, I get it, but just doesn't seem to be super effective, at least not in my personal experience. I'm sure there's some people who can divine the tea leaves, but these spikes and dips are going without any rhyme or reason. And me personally, historically speaking, also, just buying and holding Bitcoin is pretty much the easiest thing you can do. You just keep buying and you keep holding. And if you're looking in 5-10 year windows, you're going to be all right. But there is a lot of energy. I think I realistically, I don't take people seriously that are putting out bearish content right now or speaking bearish. Like, if you've been in the Bitcoin, an actual Bitcoin bull run before, there's nothing bearish that's going on, period, right now. Everything is accelerated and ahead of schedule. We still haven't hit the halving yet. We're already in price discovery. We've already printed a new all-time high, which normally doesn't happen until a month after the halving. There's just so much energy going on that anybody that I see, like, I'm just like, I listen to all content because I like to listen to the people that are wrong as well. Shout outs to Richard Fain, who talk about crypto. And it's interesting because it's almost like the people who either don't have the positioning that they want, aren't willing to admit that they were wrong, or aren't willing to pivot, which I did that video today. Future Financial Strategies was on. Well, actually, no. I've got one coming up on the pitfalls of financial rigidity. Geez, that's what happens when you're ahead of schedule. You got stuff out there that ain't even hit yet. We got a whole video on that coming up. But people who are just incapable of adapting. It's like, once the narrative changes, like I firmly believe that you have to set up a thesis and then act against said thesis. So you gotta set up your thesis. You gotta act against it. But like, if stuff isn't going your way for 15 years and you've been wrong for like multiple years, you don't just keep saying the same thing. And then now you're in a state to where like you have to hope the price goes down. And anytime the price retraces a little bit, you're like, see, Bitcoin's over. And then it just goes up higher than it was 2 weeks ago. And the price that it fell down to was the all-time high 2 weeks ago. It goes back down, sits at that level a little bit, just like any other asset, and then goes up, and then comes back a little bit, and then goes up higher than what it went up, and then comes back a little bit. But these people who have just been historically wrong are almost just hoping that the rug just comes out from under. Because like at that point, like now you just have to be bitter about it. You're just like, I hope this fails. I hope it doesn't work so that I can be like, gotcha, I was right 40 years later. But thus far, they haven't been right. They've just been sitting on the sideline going, damn! And hating. That's what they've been doing. They've been doing that. And then when I post my reply videos, they get all Midwest passive aggressive and want to talk about how they're entitled to their opinions. It's like, well, yeah, but if your opinion's wrong and you post it publicly, then you are also entitled to push back about your wrong opinion. But Bitcoin is doing what Bitcoin does. It's really awesome. Also, really awesome news that we got today. Sam Bankman-Fried got sentenced. He's getting 25 years for one of the largest, most public crypto scams ever. And there's the tinfoil hat. There's talk about him being a government plant to try to destroy the crypto space from within. Wouldn't be surprised, but they definitely threw this man under the bus and threw the book at him. Yo, OX Hermes in the building. We talking about crypto. Salute to OX Hermes. And Sam Bankman-Fried's going to be spending a lot of quality time with his weird hairdo in jail. He's going to be in there for a long time. Basically the rest of his good life, He's going to come out at retirement age. The thing is, though, he's probably going to get out of jail and still be rich. So he'll be able to just get out and retire at that point, most likely. But they made an example out of him. We'll see if he gets out early or what's in store for him, but it's not going to be good. Definitely doesn't sound fun getting the book thrown at you like that for scamming people. In Ethereum news, we've got the Denkun upgrade. L2 fees are dirt. Right. OX Hermes said in regards to the Sam Bankman-Fried case and sentencing, the campaign stuff and the China stuff got thrown out, and it did. It very much did, which I thought was pretty interesting as well. But they put him on the shelf for a while, so it is what it is. It makes you kind of wonder, since they were making an example out of him, how they didn't charge him for everything. But again, what are we gonna do? In Ethereum news, the Denkun upgrade went live, which was awesome. I actually had to move some money the week after that, or not the week after, it was that weekend. And the L2 fees are dirt, and I love it. I was like, I got to use all my favorite platforms for nothing, and it was great. It was great. And as we do with these episodes, as people are rolling in, we're kind of touching on news, but I like to do one of the beginnings of what we're looking at when we look at the beginning episodes of the Crypto Portfolio Updates. I always do this. It's a little bit fun. People seem to like it over there. So when we do our crypto roundtables over here while people are still rolling in, shout out to those of you on Rumble. I can see the chat. I've got all my stuff set up today. I see y'all. I appreciate you. Rumble always gives me a little bit of a boost early. Makes me feel good about myself. But like I said, once we get a collective 10 people in here, which we have broke that threshold already because of the Rumble family, I like to go ahead and jump into the updates. And so we do a little update. I do this over on Crypto Portfolio Updates. I do this every week. But I like to give a little taste of it on Guns and Butter because we got a little bit of a different crowd over here, and I find it very much so entertaining. It's cathartic, and it makes me happy. So let's first take a look. Shout outs to CoinGecko for providing us with this wonderful information. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance, which is still at 49.8%. Now, when Bitcoin dominance is this high, we know that it is Bitcoin season. I know we get alt pump. It's not to say that you're not going to get alt pumps. That's not to say you're not going to get movement in the altcoins, but it is by no means alt season. Because we ain't started yet. Once that liquidity starts flowing out and Bitcoin dominance gets down, I say down to about 40% range, you're going to start seeing some craziness happen in the altcoins. Ethereum dominance is at 15.3%, and the Ethereum gas GUI is up at 26. Ethereum during the bull run is not a poor man's chain. All the transactions are expensive, and it is what it is. Now, moving on, we're going to talk about the top trending cryptocurrency coins right now based on CoinGecko's data, which this is a popular site. A lot of people go here to do research. I go here to do research. And yeah, at number 1 is Gala, Gala. At number 2 is Atlas Navi. At number 3 is Strike X. Now, I know for a fact that Gala is in the GameFi space. It is a ecosystem token. And they have some pretty good-looking games that are released on there. I'm trying to get into the crypto gaming space. I've been playing, I think it's, well, you know what? Let's look it up. I'll show you the token. Heroes of Mavia. That's what it is, Mavi. I've been playing that, and it's pretty fun. It's like it's a strategy kingdom builder game, and I enjoy it. It's a good time filler game. You know, I don't feel obligated to be on it all the time. It is just enough for me to have something to do in passing, and hopefully there's some sort of airdrop tied to that, but the game in and of itself is fun enough, so I mess around with it when I'm at work, when I have some passing time. Yo, what's good? Will Crypto in the building. Shout outs to my homie Will Crypto. Yeah, we're talking crypto all night tonight. But yeah, so now we're going to jump into the next part here, which is going to be the top gainers and losers. Let me get myself small down here. You guys will recognize this view. We're going to go through the top 5 gainers. Oh, Lord. We're probably going to have some opinions on some of these. It is, there's some bullish stuff going on here. What I do find interesting is my coin is not on here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. One of my positions is on here. Sweet. So we got a couple of things to talk about. It's not in the top 5, though, which is depressing. It would have been earlier. Okay, so starting off at number 1 on the top 5 gainers list, we have at rank 589, we have SafeMoon SFM with a gain of 162.9% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, at rank 262, we have REI Network, REI, with a gain of 100.9% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 914, Boba Cat PSPS, pss, pss, you know what I'm saying? When you call the cat over, they have a gain of 97.1% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have Cat in a Dog's World, MEW. Meow. They have had a gain of 90.4% in the last 24 hours. And at number 5, last but not least, we have at rank 451, Rally, RLY. And they've had a gain of 75% flat in the last 24 hours. Now we're going to move over to the losers list. Then we're going to have a conversation about some of the things on this because there's a couple of things we can talk about. At number 1, we have Extra Finance, EXTRA, with a loss of 18.4% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have at rank 641, Soul Casino Token, SCS, with a loss of 18.3% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 968, 1EX, with a loss of 17.7% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have at rank 767, Syncus, SYNC, with a loss of 16% in the last 24 hours. At number 5, last but not least, we have at rank 411, Virtual Protocol, VIRTUAL, with a loss of 15.9% in the last 24 hours. First thing we want to talk about is the number 1 coin on the top gainers list, Safe Moon. Oh boy, it is really meme season. We are. I mean, I guess we can say that there's a lot of energy in. Oh, bet. OX Hervey said share that game in the Discord. I've been looking for some games to farm. Bet I will. I'll drop you the link down in there. Give me a little bit. Actually, I'll probably do it right after the show because I gotta go check on my city and upgrade the walls. So, but yeah, I'm definitely looking into some crypto games. Lady Navoa is in the building. Shout outs to Lady Navoa. Hope you've been well, sis. But yeah, we are definitely in a crypto meme coin season. And you got Safe Moon, you got Boba Cat, you got Cat in a Dog's World, Degen over on base. Like, oh, it is wild. There's a, and then the Doge NFT, Bozo hybrid. A lot of meme action going on. Now, I understand because we are seeing a lot of desperation. That is not, I mean, had I not knowing any better, I probably would be headstrong into memes as well. It is a part. So lady, I mean, I've been trying to stop the show at around 10 so I can go to bed. It'll definitely be around 10 tonight because I am exhausted. I was up late last night, busted it out all day today, came home, did not have time for a nap, set this show up, got on here, and I am talking, but your boy is going to sleep. So yeah, we're going to be wrapping up about 10 probably. So it'll be shorter than some of the other shows that I've done. And then normally when I do other people's shows on Thursdays, if I participate on other shows, yeah, I will be up later normally than I will over here on this show. But we've been running. I've been trying to get mine kind of corralled into about the 10 o'clock mark. I like that. It's a good amount of time. And especially if we're not going in depth and there's not like a big panel, like we have gone over, but conversation's got to be right. And I've come to the conclusion that 7:30 or 6:30 to 10 is a good window. It's a good window of time to hash out some topics. And depending on the topic, yeah, like I could talk about crypto all night, technically speaking, but we are stopping at around 10-ish, dependent. Oh, snap. That means I got some bonk. So I probably have some Mew in my wallet. I probably need to check that after my other phone gets charged. Because I do have some bonk that I farmed over on Camino Finance. It was given as a kicker, and I will take all free tokens given. So it was part of my liquidity providing for stable coins. So I need to check that. I might have got some. But yeah, it's meme coin season. There's a lot of energy around it. Am I focused on it in the sense I've gotten stuff that's been airdropped to my wallet for free? I have not bought any meme coins this season so far. I don't know that I will. It's a lot of work. I don't like stuff that you have to like sit there and watch daily to like know when you need to get out. And I don't really want to put my hard-earned money into being somebody's exit liquidity. But that said, I might put together a little $500 meme coin play to just throw some money out there and see what happens. I just don't know anybody who's consistently making money. I also don't know too many people that track their portfolios. So a lot of people just talk about the time that they hit or when the coin goes up, but it's like, did you buy high and it went down first and then you're just telling me about the part where it went up? Or do you actually track your portfolio? Because most people don't, which actually, in my opinion, equates to gambling. Like, you're just out there gambling and you're telling everybody about your wins, and it's like you don't even know how much you won. Like which is wild to me. I don't know. Like, when it comes to money, I'm very serious about that. But on some good news, I do have at rank at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm still within the top 10 winners. We got Velindrome Finance over here. That is the exchange that I use over on Optimism. And I do have a good size liquidity position over there. And I noticed that, like, we gonna be eating next cash out if these prices hold. So, like, Velindrome had a nice pop. I looked at it earlier today. It was up 95%. And I'm here for it. I was like, when you start seeing some of these random pops and you're in position, and you get to have access to some of these things. It's real nice. Velindrone's previous all-time high. We are almost at the previous all-time high. This is wonderful. And I got my Velindrome in an airdrop, which makes it even more wonderful, because what I do is I'll sell off a portion of an airdrop sometimes. But I'll always try to keep a position. And for this one, I think I kept most of it, if not all of it, because it was pretty much a dust token at that point in time. And yeah, this is good. Like, it's picking up some traction. It's going back to previous all-time high range. Oh, actually, we just hit all-time high, so we're back in price discovery. That is awesome. That's really cool. So, it's good to keep an eye on these lists, because, like, every once in a while, well, I'm not going to say every once in a while. I'm planning on hitting this list multiple times this year. But it's good to see that early on we're starting to hit on some of our positions. I mean, we're doing extra super well on our super position, which is my main primary gaming play. But I do want to add probably 2 to 3 more GameFi tokens into that basket. But super is one of the only tokens that I'm actually just sitting on. Like, I just buy and hold those tokens because there's nowhere to stake them. And so, yeah, that's kind of annoying. But we're looking at adding some more GameFi ecosystem tokens, or potentially some game tokens in there as well. I'm also looking at getting some AI positions, because at this point, it's almost like you gotta start making moves, because this is the time for me when I start looking at altcoins heavy, because when alt season hits, it's gonna hit. And I most of my portfolio is comprised of altcoins, but I have some of the prevailing narratives that are really hot right now, that are really in the news cycle right now, that I do want to add into my portfolio. Like, there definitely are some. Like, I'm definitely looking at getting some Akash, just because ecosystem wise, like, I use Tendermint, I use the Cosmos, the Atom ecosystem, and that's another one Yeah, at least. So I have one. I have my super position in Superverse because I am an advocate for Superverse. I like it. Leo Trades is a founder of it. I like Leo Trades. Like, I'm a supporter of his. And, that coin's 10x for me already. But going into the bull run, I would like to add some. I would like, I like to have like maybe two, three of each. And I don't have an AI position. Like, I didn't really understand the relevance of it. And like, I understand like the cycle sometimes it's just stuff that just never catches. But I am in an AI workshop now, and it's making way more sense. So now that I'm actively using it, you guys will notice some upgrades on the thumbnails. They're gonna start consistently being better because I have options now. But yeah, I've been doing a AI course, so I'm like, okay, like I can get behind this narrative, and Akash is in an ecosystem that I really like. So I'm gonna probably do that because I can at minimum do some on-chain staking with it, and I know I can stake those tokens, which for me that's a pretty big deal because that falls in line with my MO. If I'm gonna have to hold something for a long period of time, I want to get paid for it. So it'll just add to my ecosystem play over there in the Cosmos ecosystem because I do like it. I don't know if it'll ever catch the way that it should, but the ecosystem is silky smooth. It's really easy to use. Every chain that I've been on over there, it's been very consistent. Oh, dope. Yeah. Will Crypto said, I like Cosmos ecosystem. Did have a Strange Clan NFT at one point until it sold. Nice. Yeah, that's another one. Like I picked up a hashling at the behest of OX Hermes, and we're sitting on that. We're kind of touching on some NFTs. I do like the hashling community because they have an alpha channel, and I'd just be sitting up there like a fly on the wall, trying to figure out if there's any useful alpha. We'll see. We will see because there's definitely. I'm hoping that when I look at a NFT that has an alpha channel, if I can get one play out of that alpha channel that paid for the NFT without me having to sell it, that's a worthwhile purchase in my opinion. Like I like that's another way that I believe you can break even on NFTs. And honestly, for me, if you're not qualifying for airdrops or getting some sort of additional alpha out of the NFT, if there's not a utility for it, I'm not really that interested. That's kind of the way that I look at it now. And unfortunately, the ones that have good communities don't normally, they're expensive. They're like thousands of dollars. And I kind of feel like I missed the boat. Like Pudgy Penguins, I've got a guy in one of my back channels that I invest with. He's really big into gaming. He's got 6 Pudgy Penguins. And it's not fair. I'm just like, dude, just give me one, Jesus. But like he wasn't in our group when he got into Pudgy Penguins. But man, what I wouldn't give for 6 Pudgy Penguins. They're getting all sorts of alpha drops and coins and stuff, and it's great. And they have a really good alpha channel, and it's all GameFi related. So he's getting in on all the good GameFi stuff. And, like that's the stuff I look for. Shout outs to Travel One in the building, stopping in to hang out with us for a little bit. I appreciate you, Travel One. Going to listen to us talk about a little bit of crypto tonight. It's going to be great. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the bull run. I did my metrics for my worst case scenario for my crypto portfolio. I added it up. And yeah, we're gonna be in a different class of tax bracket this year. So Wheel Crypto, I don't personally. I'm in a group that is comprised of some people that helped me out when I first started in crypto. I'm in a Telegram channel that's those guys. And so like that's like I've been friends with those guys for probably a decade now. Like it's actually pretty crazy. Like we're thinking after this bull run, because everybody's going to be basically shifted into some beginning wealth. We'll put it that way. Like this year is my breakout year. And I've always said that I think it takes 2 to 3 bull cycles. I think if you're actually serious about crypto, 2 to 3 bull cycles, you should be in the millionaire range. You should be towards $1 million in assets at that point. Now that's peak cycle, but I mean, depending on how you're playing it, like the dips, it depends on where you're sitting. Like I'm not planning on sitting in anything towards the end of the cycle besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I don't think those dips are going to be the same as what they previously were. But I did my math. And so like I do doomsday math. Like I don't like to get excited about stuff. And so like I take all the predictions, right? And what I personally do when I'm projecting out my portfolio is I go, okay, what do I think realistically, like I would be surprised if it didn't hit this number because it's so low. And I'll go with that number and I'll base my projection off that number. So what I did was I looked at Bitcoin and I go, well, there's a lot of pie in the sky numbers. People are talking as high as $500,000 this bull run for peak. That's not unbelievable in comparison to the other runs that we've had. Like that's not unbelievable. So what I did was I went, because like my low ball projection, my projection personally was 250,000 peak before we got the Bitcoin ETFs. And then like I said, if we got the ETF, then it's going to be all bets off because that ETF is going to create a massive amount of supply shock. Well, we got the Bitcoin ETF. So my doomsday projection is what would I be surprised if it didn't make it to it? And I was like, $200,000 would surprise me. It would surprise me if we didn't hit at least $200,000. Because everybody else is predicting well over that. Like most of the predictions are settling around $300,000. And usually when the people make these predictions, they're low. So like when you have the analyst going 300,000, my projection without the ETFs was we peak out at 250. So I lowered it to 200 and I was like, okay, so like this would be yay, but like, oh, like that's it. I would be surprised if we just hit 200,000. So I based my projection on that. And like at the time it was like, I think Bitcoin was at like 64,000 or something like that. So I did the math and figured out, okay, so like what percentage gain is it from 60 something thousand to 200,000? And my second projection that I do for everything else in the portfolio, and this is where I really undershoot my yeah, I know. I'll tap in with you, OX. Oh yeah. I do. That Hashlings Alpha channel is all meme plays. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to start doing some research. But so what I do for my projections, for the rest of my portfolio. So I look at all the rest of my positions and I go, what if everything in my portfolio only gets drug up the same amount that Bitcoin does? Which is also super unrealistic for every other bull run I've ever been in. When Bitcoin goes up, whatever multiple it does, the further down you go, the more things pop off. So I do the math based on everything only going up as much as Bitcoin. And, like I do, it's some doom and gloom math, but I was like, I did that. And I was like, okay, we gonna be able to do something this year. Like that's going to be good. This bull run is going to be interesting. And it's so undersold that I was just like, okay, so realistically, we're starting to make some plans. We're definitely gonna be making the most out of that trip to Puerto Rico. That's for darn sure. Like we're gonna be out there looking to make some purchases and see what we can do to get some business income going in over there so that we can start making some moves. But I'm excited. Like I'm super excited for the bull run. I'm really interested I'm kind of, I'm concerned about the economy, but the side of the fence that I'm on at this point, being in crypto, I'm like, well, we can navigate that. Like that's just going to present opportunities for me to accumulate more assets, because I think one of the things that I might do this year is start hedging 1% out of crypto into my traditional finance portfolio. Oh yeah, Hermes. He's got 6. He's real big into NFTs, real big into gaming, and like he's got articles and stuff. Like he like shows us like articles where he's like, yeah, I went to this event and they did a write-up on me, and I'm like, what? Yeah, he got 6 pudgies, man. He's freaking ridiculous. I mean, like that, but that's the benefit of doing your research. Like he's put in his time in the NFT space and something hit for him, and you get to rake in those benefits because you did the work. It's the same with all sorts of stuff. Because I mean, before he came in, like when we had our 30,000% gain on SNX, like he didn't get that. So like it all works itself out one way or another. Like wherever your focus is, there's going to be opportunities to win. The issue is people are constantly chasing other people's wins, and instead of actually like learning a facet of the space, because there's a bunch of ways to make money in crypto. Like that's the reason like I'm not a fan of meme coins, just because it's not consistent. Like during the bear market, you're not hearing about meme coins. Meme coins aren't doing anything during the bear market. It's like literally a window of time where meme coins are useful, and it's like right now, and it's literally a game of musical chairs. So there's not actually a way to be good at it unless you're making the meme coin and using other people as exit liquidity, in my opinion. Like you can get lucky and catch some runs, which is cool. And if you have a strategy and you're rolling those into things that you're long, that's also dope. Like you can make it work that way during the bull run, but your opportunities to make money are over outside of this. Like they're just not, it's not long-term enough for me. So when I look at it, I'm like, okay, like this is bull run gambling, but like we keep making it more and more of a thing. And the reality of it is, it's because the people the barrier to entry for crypto is way lower. So the only reason that meme coins are a thing in the space that they are is because most of the people who are in the space are broke. And like y'all are trying to get rich tomorrow. And you're desperate. And so that's why, because you do not hear craziness over penny stocks, because traditional finance has a higher barrier of entry and the returns are lower. So going into that space, like if you go into that space and you're like, I'm just going to do options calls on penny stocks, like you're just going to end up broke, and everybody knows you're going to end up broke. And the only reason that people don't go crazy and get hype and start making stuff pop off over there is because the upside on it is also trash. So when it comes to meme coins, I'm like, well, that's a specific type of investor, and like it's just not me. Like that's not my situation. When I first got in, there weren't meme coins. Like if there were, I probably would have done that, because I got caught up in EOS. But EOS at least pretended to be a legitimate project. So my base thesis was, okay, so we're looking for projects that are looking to innovate and you know, make a name for themselves and like advance the market and like push things forward and be on the bleeding edge. That was how I started. I didn't, and like that was the closest thing to a meme that we had. It was just like, hey, it's this new project and we're gonna take out Ethereum. Okay, like, and then it didn't. But like, I walked away with a little bit of something. But like that's where I started. And so like me starting with that basis versus me coming in and having like a bunch of dog coins and stuff, like the issue is it's when I look at it and like people who come in through meme coins and don't know about the space, don't know about fundamentals, don't know about use case, don't know about longevity or anything. They're just coming in and everything's to the moon and I'm going to make $1 million tomorrow and this is going to go up 1,000% overnight and I'm going to be straight. They're not going to last in the market because they know one thing. And it's like, okay, so if you come in today, you know nothing about crypto and you get lucky and hit 10,000% overnight on a meme coin. How do you replicate that on purpose? Like, there's no longevity. There's no skill. You don't know how to navigate the market. You go, well, I just bought this coin with this stupid cat on it. Why? I don't know. They said it was going to the moon. Okay. How do you consistently replicate that? Like now you're screwed up in the market forever because you're just going to be chasing that. And like, you think that's what this is. And it's not. It's like people are building up and figuring out ways to make money in the markets and understanding cycles, understanding fundamentals. And generally speaking, they back projects that they think are going to at least be around for a little bit. And yeah, they do those things. And then that's how you stay in the market. You can't just go, well, I'm going to hit 10,000% tomorrow. It's like, you can't even, you're going to be lucky to hit 20% tomorrow in the bear market. Like that's just like, that's not even real outside of this window of time. And then they don't know that they're in a cycle and that it's just a window of time, regardless of how many times you tell them. They talk to you like it's just going to be indefinite. Like there's always going to be meme coins during the bear market. And it's like, no, like most of these things, most people who are in meme coins right now, they're waiting for you as exit liquidity so that when this stuff does start popping off, they can get out of those positions. Let's be honest. And then the current cycle of what's going on is like they're generating these, and it's almost like if you're not in an alpha channel, it's even harder. And like if you are in an alpha channel, you at least have a shot because you have the ability to front run and be at the front of the wave versus trying to catch a coin after it's gone up 20,000%, hoping it goes up another 20,000%. And just betting on it. It's just gambling. I understand it's part of the space, but the reason it's part of the space is because the people coming into the space are desperate and poor. Like it's just what it is. Because there's no logic or reason or rationale behind it. It's just somebody creates a coin and they're going, I'm broke. I'm going to make this coin and get some exit liquidity. And then all these other brokies are coming in going, oh, it's going to the moon. I'm broke. I'm going to throw some money at this coin and hope it goes to the moon and I can get out too. It's not really a good business model. But yeah, so let's see here. So I was checking out these Bitcoin specific headlines and there's talking about the Bitcoin headline. Jeez. Good Lord. $11 billion Bitcoin ETF milestone marks a shift for Wall Street. This is ridiculous. Like I've been telling people though, Bitcoin's going to save your portfolio. Bitcoin's going to be saving the pension fund. Bitcoin's going to be the superhero of the planet, in my opinion. Because there's just too much money flooding into it. There's too much interest. It's too much of everything. It's almost worrisome. Like I'm ready to see some of what these pumps are going to look like. And then the people who sell off man, it's been a good time to be mining Bitcoin, man. I tell you what, it's going to be something else. That's for darn sure. I'm going to drop this. I'll drop the link out here for y'all. It's going to be wild. Like, the miners are going to make money. I mean, the miners were killing it on transaction fees because the network was like, as soon as they released ordinals, the fees on the network, because it was so congested, the miners were making good money then. And like, they did like a couple of news stories about it, but like nothing major, because they really didn't want a bunch of people jumping on mining to like, because they're getting paid inordinate amounts of money, like, which is awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a Bitcoin mining operation right now. Like, those guys are sitting good. Those are also, I mean, for those of you looking on the traditional side of things, Bitcoin mining companies over the next, I'd say 12 to 24 months, they're going to be raking it in. Like, it's going to almost be impossible for them to not be doing well because of the price increase. Oh, what? Oh, this is cool. Okay. So there was another piece of information that really didn't make a lot of big headlines, but for my crypto bros that are in here, my fellow crypto bros, Wheel Crypto and OX Hermes, you can Google by ENS domain name. You can Google search them now. And as of 9 hours ago, Google has started indexing Bitcoin addresses. So those are also searchable now. That is crazy. It says Google has continued its U-turn on Bitcoin by displaying transactions and balances on search results. Google's move draws mixed reactions from the crypto community. Google Trends data is yet to peak despite Bitcoin's all-time high. That is so cool. So now you can search ENS domain names on Google. You know what? Yep. OX Hermes, you right on the dot, mining stocks and Coinbase. You might also throw YBTC in there, dude. That we've been eating off the income off of that for as far as income goes. I'm building a dividends portfolio and I wanted some Bitcoin exposure. The Bitcoin ETFs did not quite fit the bill on that, but YBTC does futures trading on that, and it generates quite a hefty dividend every month. We're going to see if it's consistent. I mean, so 2 months, it's outpaced my QYLD position to the tune that I sold off all my QYLD in my active portfolio. I left it in my brokerage, but in my active portfolio, sold off all my QYLD and converted it over to YBTC. And so this month will be the test, because like now my active portfolio is literally just YBTC, and we're getting that up to go up to where it's kicking off $500 a month, and then we're gonna start rolling that to rebuild out the QYLD position. And then because QYLD, which does covered call option trading, also pays a really good dividend. It's been performing really well, but it as well as it had been performing, YBTC completely dusted it immediately upon release. So that's my way of getting Bitcoin exposure in my traditional finance portfolio. Since I hold Bitcoin, I don't need the Bitcoin ETFs. I just think that they're great for the space. They're definitely great for me as a Bitcoin holder. But the income potential, some of the income products that you're going to see come out with these cryptocurrency ETFs. Right now we have Bitcoin. The YBTC does Ethereum and Bitcoin futures. So, and it's 100% geared towards paying out income at the end of every month. So I'm a big advocate for that because I'm a dividend portfolio kind of guy. And now that we're hedging against our crypto and setting that portfolio up, what we're doing is we're trying to get it to cover all the core expenses. So I don't really ever have to worry about touching my cryptocurrency holdings unless I'm just trying not to touch it. Like, I want to buy Bitcoin, never look at it again. I want to get my staked Ethereum, never look at it again. And then maybe nibble off the Ethereum gains that I get from the staked Ethereum, because that's going to be ever going up. So, oh yeah, Hermes. I do everything. Like, I like to get paid, bro. like I know what the game is. I'm like, let me get these monions flowing. And I haven't, well, not having touched my traditional finance stuff in forever. Now that I'm hedging back in, QYLD was like a big game changer for me, that they have like these options and put based ETFs that just make money in the market. Because I'm not an active trader, but like, I would like the money of an active trader that's good. And so the QYLD play for me was like one of the best performing. Like, you started noticing that you were generating income the fastest I've ever seen. So like, I was all in on that. And then when the Bitcoin ETFs released, I grabbed some to show support at the beginning. And then I realized that since I have Bitcoin, I don't need to have a Bitcoin ETF. That doesn't do me any good. So I started doing some research, and actually it was Razik who brought it to my attention. And he was like, hey, you need to like read this. And so like, I looked into it and like started actually reading through some of these, the Bitcoin ETFs, because they're built a little bit different. And he found the YBTC one. I was like, oh, this is about income. So I swapped over into that. I don't know. I didn't, you know what? That's an interesting take. I didn't look at it because the dividend that I get every month is so high that like, I don't care what the fee is. I really don't. Like, YBTC, here, let me look it up. I can tell you right now. Wait a second. I'll pull it up for you. Hold on. Oh shit. Okay. Hold up a second. Where's the expense ratio? Where's the actual thing at? So oh, there we go. No, that's not the same. I need hold up. Why is oh snap. Okay, so basically what it is so like, their dividend right now is showing that it's like 13%, which I know is on the high side, but like I was saying, it's for what it is during the bull run. I think it's gonna stay there for a while. Hold on. Oh, that's why. So I was trying to get to the official page. ETF. There we go. There it is. Okay. Okay, so the expense ratio is 0.9% or 0.95%. So it's just under 1%. And I've got it. I'll pull it up. So we got it on the screen there. Basically right now, according to Seeking Alpha, like when I was pinging around trying to find this page, it it's just fucking wild. Like, this is wild. So Seeking Alpha was saying that it's it's $1.33 basically a share right now, and they're projecting at 13, it's like 13.95%, which is almost 14%, which I know the dividend gurus will be like, oh, they're gonna go out of business at 13%. And I was like, it's covered, it's a covered call strategy. So like, and it's based on Bitcoin and Ethereum during a bull run. Like, that's gonna be a wild ride during the bull run, which is why I'm stacking as much of it as possible. I've got a little bit more to go into the opportunity fund, and then all of those funds, like, we're clearing out the opportunity fund debt, and then we're paying down all debts, and we're buying YBTC unyieldingly after we're done putting money into the crypto space, because I can normally get a few shares a paycheck, and yeah, it's stacking. So we're stacking YBTC up until it hits 500, and then I'll probably continue just buying into YBTC, and as that dividend grows, all the dividend that I get every month will roll over into QYLD, and then we'll stack that and roll it into the next position. Because I'm a nerd. I actually sit and redistribute my dividends myself. I don't use drips. I don't believe in automation on that level because I like the waterfall effect. What's going on, Own a Spot? If you want to come up and hang out for a little bit, the link is out there. I actually need to jump over there and pin that. I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat. Let me go. It's pinned to the top of the chat. But yeah, YBTC has been working for me. It's been working hard. I like it. I've been liking it a lot. Between that and dollar cost averaging, and I've been dollar cost averaging this since it came out, but like, I wonder what their top holding is right now. Let's see what they got. Seeks to generate monthly income through a cover call strategy on Bitcoin, which has historically offered significant option premiums. Exposure to Bitcoin up to subject to a monthly cap, actively managed. YBTC implements a covered call strategy, saving investors time and expense of trading options themselves, which is why I like it. So I gotcha. Okay, so this is just using Bitcoin. I originally thought that this was utilizing Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I think they might have changed that since I first read through this, and they took the Ethereum off of it. But it's going. Oh Lord. Okay, she's gonna have to ask me about the drama. Oh Lord, I don't know what drama. Bro. Oh, shout out, dude. My little brother Luke. What's going on, brother? Man, I tell you what. Oh, so also, Luke, I saw your message. You gotta tell me what Albion server you're on, because I don't get to play that often. But if you made a character already, I'll if I'm not on the server that you're on, I'll make a character on that server so I can just be on the same server that you're on and we can play together sometimes. Because yeah, I literally haven't played in forever. I do enjoy the game though. Albion Online is fun, especially for a mobile MMORPG that you can play on mobile. Solid, and they have character classes that are effective on mobile. I like it. I prefer it on the iPad, but I can get away with playing it on the phone. Got any Ethy? Let's look up Ethy. I don't know about Ethy. What's this? Oh, no. So because no, I don't, because I have Ethereum. So OX Hermes was asking, got any ETH? That NAV is looking juicy. I'm like, well, if I didn't hold Ethereum, I would be copy that, Luke. I'll make one on the Washington DC server if I'm not on there. I'll re-roll. I'm fine restarting that game. Like, it's fun. I enjoy the grinding up to a certain point anyway. But yeah, dude. So YBTC, I've got it. It's the only thing that I'm holding in my active brokerage account right now, and in my my Roth 401k, it is a growing position in there. Like, I'm buying into it. So my portfolio, basically both of them put together, consists of YBTC and a QYLD position that's in the Roth. I sold off my QYLD position in my active portfolio to buy more YBTC in that portfolio, because like I'm trying to set that up as my model for an income portfolio. And I'm testing my thesis, which I want it to be heavy weighted with YBTC up to a certain point of dividend income. And then I'll start the second position, which is going to be QYLD. Yeah, Hermes, but I don't, it doesn't produce income. And so like it doesn't fit the thesis for any of my portfolios, because like even my Roth 401k that I don't really put a whole lot of money in, all of them have to produce income. And I don't see the benefit in holding a paper derivative of Ethereum if I have a bunch of Ethereum already. Well, it's the same reason I didn't keep my Bitcoin ETF. Once it started running on its own and I knew it didn't need my support, I got rid of it. Oh, Own a Spot. What's up?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, you're breaking up. You gotta go sit by the router.
Can you hear me now?
It's getting a little bit better. Try it again.
Okay, hold on.
There. Oh, I think you sounded
Can you hear me
normal.
now?
Yes.
I sound normal now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so I wanted to ask you about the drama.
Oh Lord, what drama?
With Sam Bankman-Fried being
sent going to jail for 25 years, bro.
And plus, I think like 3 years of supervising, they're all in your business kind of thing.
Yeah. So if they keep him in there the whole time, he going to Club Fed though. Like, it's not, he just getting put in an adult timeout.
Adult timeout. It's like not in there with the scary people.
Right. That's so, what's funny is when I was growing up, I worked in service industry and I work with a bunch of people who are criminals. And one of the things, one of our ardent drug dealer criminals that I worked with told me was like, if you're ever in a police chase, go bust a window out at a post office and then give yourself up, so that way you go to Fed and not prison.
Oh my God.
And I was like, why? And he was like, they don't manhandle you in Fed prison. And I was like, oh Jesus. It's like the little things you learn. So if you were going to commit a crime and go to prison for a long time, you would want to just rip people off. Like,
it's better than harming them physically.
Yes, 100%. Because like you're gonna get in there and like there'll be people bigger than you and like they might want your cookie or something. I don't know.
Cookie. But here's my question though. Because I understand stock. You and I have talked about this. I don't understand crypto. I'm learning, right?
Right.
So in my world, in my mind, what affects the stock is news about the company, right? How, if in any way, is the value of crypto affected by like crazy crypto stories in the media or, people's perceptions of it?
So the issue is, specifically with the SBF issue was his platform, the way that they were utilizing the money on the back end, they crashed a platform. So I can speak directly to this because the thing that brought down Sam Bankman-Fried was the Luna collapse. That was the initial catalyst that screwed up everything for that whole time. We had the Luna collapse, and then we had Sam Bankman-Fried's platform that collapsed. But we were all heavily invested in Luna, in that ecosystem, because it was really easy to make money, right? So a lot of the platforms, and there was at least, as far as like major front-facing news story platforms, Celsius collapsed off of this,
right?
Voyager collapsed off of this, because this is what they were doing with the money when they were like, hey, come use our platform and we can give you loans and you can come put your coins here and stake them. Everybody was going to the same place because you could generate so much money there that you could just give people money to let you hold their money. It was almost like fractional reserve banking on steroids, right? And when the Luna ecosystem collapsed, everybody lost everything that was there, basically. So like it's like over the course of like 2 weeks. Oh yeah, BlockFi was one of them. See, OX Hermes is on it. He said BlockFi collapsed because of it, because like they were all taking the money going into the Luna ecosystem, and we were all just cycling money over there because it was super easy. And like it was like easy on a level that like my dumb ass figured it out. So I was over there, and then I got greedy too. So I did the exact same thing the institutions did. We were like, hey, we're eating good over here. Put all the money over here. So like most of my active money was in that ecosystem when it crashed.
Wow.
So over the course of probably about a week and a half, I lost like $63,000. Gone. Just gone. Yeah. In rapid succession. Oh yeah. It was just like every day it got worse. So we were like, man, maybe this ain't gonna be that bad. And then like Celsius was like, we're insolvent. And I was like, this is terrible. I'm not getting any of that money back.
And it's like, and he fled and his parents fled or something. They were in another country.
They were also involved with China and messing with elections.
It's crazy. But so it's my understanding that even with the case and them catching him essentially and being able to prosecute him, they aren't able to recover the losses of those. I don't call them investors. What do you call crypto people?
Just crypto people. I mean, investors. I mean, I'd still consider us. I'd say the majority of them you can call rampant degenerate gamblers. No. But there are a few of us that are investors in this space.
No shade, no tea.
Right. So, and the reason is, and that's the reason I tell people, like, you can't, with the way that the industry is set up right now, and we've been saying this for years, the way that the contracts on these sites are set up, when you set up a Coinbase, and this is not to throw shade at people that use Coinbase, because like when I started out, I used Coinbase. But the reality of the situation is, if you read through the user agreement, it says on that user agreement,
you're gambling.
No, worse. It says, if anything happens to this institution and we run out of money and you have your cryptocurrency on our platform, that is ours.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So there's a saying in the crypto community for those of us who have been here a long time: not your keys, not your crypto. Which means that like if you have $100,000 on Coinbase and you get a bunch of coins on Coinbase, right?
Yeah. And
Coinbase goes belly up, your $100,000 is gone because those weren't your coins because they were holding them.
Wow, Luke is freaking out.
Right. Well, no, don't freak out, dude. Luke's my little brother. Like, well, we grew up together. Like, so me and his older brother were best friends growing up, dude. Like, yeah, Luke's like my little brother. So like, I know him.
Yeah.
What's going on in the big? Oh, Drelly's in the building. But no, don't. So the chances of Coinbase going belly up are very slim. But the premise is you wouldn't want to keep all of your money there, which is why I tell people like you have to set up your own wallet. So that way you can move stuff off the platform. Like I'll keep a certain amount on there. And here's the thing, because I had money on Celsius when they went bankrupt, and I just got paid back probably 2 months ago. And that
so they
was
keep paying you back.
Well, here's the deal. So me and a buddy of mine both had money on Celsius. So since I was on the platform that initially collapsed and I lost that $63,000, I knew what was going on. So I removed most of my money from Celsius.
Okay.
Because I had funds sitting over there that I was utilizing. And I was like, oh, crap, I've lost all my money here. And then I'm like, they were putting their money there, which was why I was putting my money there. So I was like, give me some of this back. So I only had like $1,200 sitting on there, right? So this is like 3 years ago, gets locked up, gone. So I've written this money off. I'm like, I'm never getting this back. It's never getting back. And so I'd moved my money over to another platform that wasn't utilizing that same scheme that Celsius was doing, and they didn't go bankrupt. So I had a chunk of money over there too. So when we got paid back, one of my best friends was also on the Celsius platform. And he had way more money than I did on there. And he did not get all of his money back. Like I got I think I got 80% of my money back.
Wow.
Right? Because they didn't pay me back everything, but they paid him back less than that. And he had more money on there than I did.
And like you had, wow.
Yeah.
So the same is true for the Bankman-Fried people that were affected by his situation. It doesn't look like they can recover that at all, right?
Well, I mean, no, they started having them sell assets off.
Their assets.
Then they're starting to slowly pay them back. So like the Celsius settlement, they at least paid us back in crypto. So even though we didn't get all of it back, like we got it in crypto, because like I was like, I would have been fine with cash for cash at this point, because like I've already written that money off. I was like, that's gone. I wasn't expecting to get anything back ever. And somehow we got something back. So I was like, that's good. But like the institutions, they get more money back. So like the way that they do it is they'll stretch it out for a really long time. And then the individuals, they'll just be like, yeah, well, we're going to give you this back. Like if you look at what they tried to do with the people who had funds on Mt. Gox that lost all their Bitcoin when Mt. Gox got hacked, they tried to pay them out cash based on what they had in there at the time. And they were like, no, I had like 400 Bitcoin. Like, what are you talking about? You can't give me the cash equivalent of that back then. Like, I want the Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they literally had to sue them. And so like when Celsius settled out, they gave us back crypto, but they didn't pay us at 100% of what was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So what's your opinion? And this is my last question. I'm going to jump back in the chat. What is your opinion then on the incoming regulation or the looming pending regulation that everyone is expecting around crypto in the crypto space? I think for some people, they're like, no, the whole point was that it's an unregulated thing. We control it and blah, blah, blah. But then doesn't regulation provide some level of protection of this disastrous kind of stuff not happening in the future?
Well, so there's a couple of caveats here. So when it comes to regulation, for the people who are in my position that have been here, it's going to be fine, because this year, as it moves forward, as we get more institutional money in and they regulate it, it's a funny thing's going to happen for those of us who are OGs in the space. We're going to become accredited investors, which means we still get to do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Yeah.
Because we're just going to be rich at that point, right?
Right.
Or quote unquote rich by the classification. Because there's two ways. You can take your Series 7 or you are just rich. And then they're like, well, you can do what you want with your money because you got a lot of it. It's what regulation does is it makes it so that everyday people who this space was intended to assist in being able to both protect their wealth and have the opportunity to move ahead in a timely fashion. It makes it so that those people can't navigate the way that they want. So like if you think about it, any type of regulation in this space, in any type of space, look at the traditional finance space, for instance. What is regulation? What is the base reasoning behind regulation that they give you for traditional finance, and why do they tell you it's safe?
The FDIC insurance on like your deposit up to $250 or whatever, and it's
No, okay, so extrapolate that out to investing. What about those regulations?
Well, the regulations around investing is, who can and can't sell what, and, ethical stuff they have to go by, and all of that.
Okay, now what's the result of that?
In the past,
I'm saying for like an everyday, for you and me right now, because neither one of us are classified as accredited investors. What is the result of that?
Well, it creates somewhat of a barrier. But it's meant for protection.
Okay, I can partially agree with that, but the question is protection for who? So we are also in a system where student loans aren't regulated at all. Neither are home loans. You can go get into debt and have to work forever because you decided to be a teacher that went to Harvard. Right? There's no regulation for that. But when it comes to stock investing, you're too dumb to know how to handle your own money. So like for me, and like the way that I look at that system, and the reason I'm such a financial anarchist, and the reason I love cryptocurrency is when I lost that $63,000, that was on me. That was my decision. I don't need someone to protect me from losing that money, because you know why? I came out of that year in the green.
But this is you talking beyond that moment in the green. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If this,
no. I mean, I was beyond that moment. A few months later, I made most of that money back. That's what I'm saying. I finished that year in the green.
It hurts me just even to hear about. Even though you've recovered, it's like, oh my God.
But the deal is this. That is, if I don't want someone in between me and my financial decisions. That's the issue.
You want that freedom.
And I understand that some people are like, no, I need to be protected from myself. I don't, and I don't want to be lumped in with your dumbass at that point, right? like that's because now what you're doing is you're restraining me from meeting my potential, right? And going, well, we got to protect the masses of people. And I'm like, cool. I don't want the masses of people to go out there and lose money and have to go jump off a bridge. I don't want that. But on that same note, I don't want someone telling me that, like, hey, you make the same income as the masses of people, and I don't care if you're smart, if you're willing to take that responsibility, there needs to be a waiver where I can opt out and be like, I want to be out here. Because what happens is when you look at all the life-changing money made in the stock market, it's not made by normal people unless there's a circumstance that is abnormal in the market. The IPOs and all of that stuff, unless you are in a private banking relationship or you are made real good friends with the banker that will let you be in on a deal, you have no access to the things that are making life-changing money. The only people who have access to that are people who are already rich that don't need it. And the last time that regular people had that kind of access was during the pandemic with the meme stocks. And what did Wall Street do? They cried about it. It's not set up for us to be able to compete with them ever. And when we do, what do? We'll turn it off. We're going to cut off trading. Obviously, this isn't normal. Why are you in the market? You should be going out trying to get girlfriends, not trading stocks. Like, the stuff that they said was so insane during that time period that I was like, y'all literally just said that you set this up so that people never get to be wealthy so that they always have to listen and do what you say.
Yeah.
You just give them the option to play with something so that they have hope, so that they'll continue to go to work. And I mean, there's so many things financially that they put in front of us like that. Like, I mean, if you think about this is an interesting one for you, and it's my controversial kick that I'm on, because now that I got a little bit of money, I have time to sit and think. I've been thinking about a lot of stuff lately. So
welcome to Ray's brain.
But just think about this. We're always told to fully fund our 401ks. After you do that, you go put your money in a Roth to avoid taxes, when we're already, most of us, at the lowest tax bracket we'll ever be in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they have you do that?
Why?
Because if you get rich in your 401k, you still got to fucking continue working until you're 60.
Mm.
So if you do everything right, so you overfund it, you are a millionaire in your 401k. Now you can't quit because you can't access that money.
Right.
It's this whole shit is set up to just be a trap to get you to continue working till you're 60 or older. Like, wow. It's insane, because I'm like, if you took all that money and front loaded it into an active brokerage account and set it up to produce income, by the time you hit about $400,000-$500,000, you cannot technically have to go to the jobs that you're going to that are stressing you out and grueling you to the bone, because you could probably pretty easily make 10% off that a year.
Definitely.
And then you would be making what the average black man, apparently, according to the statistics, make.
Yes, annually. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you could go get like a part-time job, and then now you're above average and you're not stressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's not the way that this is built. And like, if you do the math on it, they're like, oh, well, like, you get the free 6% at work. And it's like, okay, but the incentive here is they're going, hey, you got to save for retirement. But they're not telling you, like, yo, we need your ass working like a slave until retirement then.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of the things that they put in front of you, they're like, yeah, do this, do this, do this. And then those 401ks, the dude who made it was like, that's not going to work. Like,
yeah.
Like,
they were looking for a pension option.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's that thing where it's like, if we can get you to invest and save so that you have hope, you'll continue to work until you drop. And we just do it. And then Bitcoin comes along and they're like, oh, that's for drug dealers. You know why? Because you can literally change your tax bracket. You can change your circumstance within a window of 10 years.
Are you taxed on your crypto? Have you ever paid tax on crypto? How does that work?
I will be when I start cashing out. I'm going to have to pay this year.
Yeah.
For sure. Because like I have part of my house savings in it. So I'm going to take the hit on that. But I'm like, it's worth it. I'm like,
yeah, because you're going to put in real
estate. I'm like, I want that piece of property. And if I'm going to use that, I mean, I don't know. Because I'm going to cash out my 401k again this year.
Here you go. Being conscious.
I do it every 3 years. I'm just like, every 3 years, I'm like, there's about somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000 in there. Like, I want that money. Like, I want it to go into my active investments, and I'm willing to take the hit on it, because at this point, I'm not going to have to work till I'm 60. So like, having to wait for that money actually ain't going to do me no good anyway, because I'm going to still have to pay taxes on it. Mm-hmm. So I like normally use it as like a big chunky savings account.
Mm-hmm.
And like every 3 years I check in on it and I'm like, how much is sitting in there? Give me it all.
Give it to me now.
They hate me too, because they're just like, well, retirement. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have money generated. Like, I barely have to show up at this bitch. Give me my money.
Reckless arrow.
It's people. If you actually break this stuff down and do the math, I'm like, all this shit's just incentivized so that you work till you're old. Like it literally is. And me personally, I don't want to not work. But on that same note, I'm like, it really aggravates me if I have the time to sit and break something down. I'm like, you're fucking lying to me. You're lying to me, so I keep doing this.
Yeah.
And my work life is so much more enjoyable when I'm like, I don't have to do this. Because then when I have a bad day, I'm like, you chose to show up in this, motherfucker. Suck it up. Like, it's not like, oh, geez, I gotta keep the lights on and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And it's just like, nah. It's that the way that we look at things, and like that's the reason they want us stressed out, under duress, unhealthy, and exhausted from work. Because like if you start like looking around and just start actively like fixing situations and like figure out what you're willing to do to like attain the situation that you want. Oh, by the way, guess who I hung out with yesterday?
Who?
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
We're back.
Oh my God. Shut your face. You would love this. I like really wish you lived closer because like we could all do a show together. Guess what we did last night?
Tea time. What did you do?
We watched all of the 90s music videos that Puffy put out.
For clues? For conspiracy theory clues?
No. So there was a long time ago that I did a reaction on one of his music videos because I was like, dude, like I was saying Puffy was weird before everybody else was, because like it was like we were looking at one of his videos and it's like he has all these dancers going, and I looked and I was like, that's a dude. And it was.
I've seen that.
So we went through all of his videos. They're in all of his videos. Like, if you actually like watch close, it's ridiculous. You're just like, wait a minute, pause, dude. And that's a dude. Like, it's wild. There's always like one mixed in with the group of women. Like,
that's interesting. So, Ray, okay, so for the next meetup, just something a little more romantic than watching Puffy videos looking for trans women. Something cuter than that.
That deep. Nope.
Dude, just make it cute. Make it a little cute.
No,
think of me.
What? You acting like I'm trying, bro. Like, listen, I'm not.
A little cute.
No,
not over the top.
You know who has to be a little cute? Her. She trying to get back.
Okay, I gotta go. Right. Okay, thanks for having me. Shout out to all the crypto people. Much love to you guys. I'm jumping back in the chat.
Okay, thank you for coming up. It's good to talk to you. I'm gonna have to swing through your show. Are you still doing the Wednesday morning shows?
I'm officially working, so I did all my shows. I was on vacation, so I'm back.
Okay, I was like excited. I was like, hey, if she's gonna be live on Wednesdays, I'm gonna make sure to catch these shows. No, that's fair.
I'm gonna try for sure.
I'm at work too. You just gotta like jump on with the vertical screen from the car and be like, look, we showing houses. You want to own a spot? Look at this.
That's exactly what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start doing like exterior tutorials and stuff.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I was looking. After I'm done with this workshop, we need to talk about this this Chat GPT, man. There's some crazy stuff on the back end on the professional version of it. Like
I actually have that up on my other laptop right now. Since you told me, I opened a tab and the tab has been open. So I'm going over there to look at it.
Well, I'll send you, as soon as I get on my other computer, I'll shoot you the link for this other thing that you should have. That's awesome. Okay. So they've made an AI integrated search engine.
Oh, wow.
That it's like it does both. So it's not just like the standard search. It's like got the AI built into it. It's like if you keep like a dual window when you're working, it's good to keep up as the second window and start searching through that first. It's real interesting.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks for the tip.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Like the video, guys. See you in the chat.
See you in the chat. OX Hermes said cashing out 401k every bear market sounds. Dude, I'm telling you, Well, my Spaces, what's going on, Spaces? How you doing? I'm telling you, Hermes, I like my belief on that. I've always looked at this ever since we talked about it. And like this, I do my work 401k so that I can get that free money. I do a little bit in my Roth. Like my Roth is pretty dismal. Yes, Luke. You know, crypto, you're normally going to be incurring, especially if you're trading, you're going to incur capital gains. It's either long term or short term. And then the income generated, questionable. It falls under a gray area, but I'm pretty sure that they would tax that the same way that you would tax dividend income in most cases. But yeah, like when I started doing started thinking about that 401k action, I'm like, well, if I get X amount in an active account and I'm just living off the dividends, then I don't see the point in the 401k because I'm never going to need that money ever at that point. And I get it that you can save it pre-tax, whatever. But if I would rather if you I don't know. I just don't see the point in Oh, snap. You got paid for work in crypto? Where were you working, bro? I want to work there. That's dope. That's actually really cool. I've been trying to figure out a way to get paid in crypto for forever. I mean, technically speaking, if you got paid and okay, so this is not financial advice, but I'm just saying gray area advice. If you got paid and it didn't go to like a Coinbase and it like went to a cold storage wallet and the other person on the other end doesn't report that they actually paid you, then like technically you didn't. That's one of the perks of crypto. But yeah, I mean, it just depends on how the other side's reporting and where you had it sent. Now, if you had it sent to your Coinbase wallet, which is centralized, then yeah, you might as well go ahead and claim that. It also depends on how much it is. Oh, well then yeah, you're gonna have to if you cashed out, then that's gonna get reported. Oh yeah, dude. We've been just talking about this 401k situation. I cracked the code on it, bro. All this stuff is set up so that we all work till we're 65. Like I think that's the game plan. Which, you know, I wouldn't have been mad about it if they weren't trying to tell us that they were doing us a favor. Like I'm like, don't be sitting here lying to people, especially me, because like if I figure it out, then like I'm upset. But yeah, I mean, I cash out my 401k completely and take whatever hits are available every 3 years. Don't care, because I want the cash. Like I'd rather the cash is better invested in my hands. Exactly. And they keep moving the age up, so now you just get to get your money and like you rich and then die. Like that sounds terrible. That's a horrible way to do things, especially if there's more efficient ways to do it. And for me, I would rather flood my brokerage account that I'm in control of and get it set up so that it's generating enough income to pay for all my bills. And then I can work on things that I want to work on versus the stuff that you have to work on. And then if it's generating income and you're managing it and you figure out what your lanes are and figure out how you're setting your account up and are financially responsible, then you don't have to worry about retiring when you're 70. Or whatever, like, you know, like maybe I want to take a month off and go hang out in Bali and just go work out and train and like work on stuff there, or go take a job that pays less because it's something that I actually care about and want to do, or get into a career where like you make a little bit less money and you own the business. Like there's a lot more options if you just have income that you have access to. And like your 401k and your Roth, you technically do not have access to. Oh, Luke chiming in. He says the way I see it, Roth and 401k are just easy passives, and I don't max them out. Just putting enough in there that I don't notice that it's gone. See, that's kind of what I do with my Roth. My 401k, I just use it as a savings. Like every time it gets between like $10,000 and $20,000 in there, I cash it out. And then I use it for my assets, like active stuff that I have access to. And I just kick it over in either my brokerage account or in the last couple of times crypto. But that's I mean, because I've always looked at them as like something has gone horribly wrong funds. And yeah, I don't do that. The other thing that I do though is I have an HSA and I don't ever go to the doctor. So like I am saving up, and like I think I got like another couple of months, and I'm gonna kick that over to where it's in a market. It's going to be in a market fund because you can invest with that. And then I'll like buy medicine and stuff off the dividends out of that once they let me start doing that. And then if you don't use it, you also get to keep that when you retire. So like I'm almost more interested in the HSA play than the freaking 401k at this point. But, you know, there's like I said, I've said this on previous shows. There's a million ways to do finance. Like there's not one way to do this, but it's just like this is something I'm super interested in. So like I nerd out about it. And, you know, like when we do our shows throughout the week, I give updates on how stuff's going, you know, like we're leveraging credit. Like I'm big into tasteful leveraging. I look at, she said, go to the doctor and stop drinking energy drinks. I almost had a Red Bull tonight because I thought I was going to be tired, and I've had a Red Bull in the spaces. I drink energy drinks, dude. I don't drink them all the time. I only drink them sometimes. And like, it's very limited. I actually stopped drinking coffee today. Tell them they're already dead. God, you guys are awful. Why are y'all mean to me like this? Like, let me have my energy drinks. Sometimes, like one energy drink isn't going to kill you. I don't drink them every day. Stop acting. Dude, yes, tasteful. There's two things that you can put tasteful in front of: leverage and side boob. Both can be tasteful. Oh, snap. Safety shot. Okay, Luke. I'm gonna look into it. Hold on. On the spot said, I know a healthy black man in his 30s that had a heart attack. He was tall and strong and completely well otherwise. Did he get the jab? That's my only question at this point, because I don't think it was the energy drink. I have other hypotheses when healthy people just start dropping like flies. Well, no. So Spaces, check this out. So I switched from coffee because I don't have energy drinks every day. She saw me drink one energy drink for this show. I still have a Red Bull that is sitting in the fridge from months ago, saved for this show. Saved for this show specifically. Like, it's only for when I'm tired in between work and I have to do the show, because like I don't sleep through the show, guys. But the thing with the coffee was I was looking it up and I was like, hey, I'm looking for healthier. So like my coffee isn't normal coffee. So what I do is I'll have whatever coffee I brew that day. I have a half teaspoon of ghee, which is clarified butter. It's good, healthy fats. MCT oil, also healthy fats, really good for your brain. And collagen powder, which is good for your skin, hair, and nails. And oh, was he drinking a bunch of them a day? That sounds terrible. I'm sorry. Like, that sucks. Like, no, I ain't trying to have no heart attack. But it's my morning coffee is a substitute for breakfast. And so it has like a little bit of protein in it. And it's basically to get nutrients into my body early in the morning, make me more efficient. So I was doing some research and I found this coffee substitute that's made from adaptogens and cordyceps, which are mushroom based, which is supposed to be good for your GI tract, your bowels, and give you health benefits. And it's got a little caffeine, but it's less caffeine than the coffee. And so today was the first day I got the first part of it in. And so like I'm mixing it with all my other stuff. And then I also have this coffee creamer that has bovine collagen in it, which is awesome. And it has other cordyceps and adaptogens. So I'm just trying to make this super nutritious concoction for my morning breakfast drink. It's going to have a little bit of protein, a little bit of caffeine, and a bunch of stuff that's good for me to keep me high energy. And you know what? I went to work today exhausted, got this mushroom coffee down my gullet, and actually didn't gas out till the very end of the day, which is normally not the case. Like normally I have to stop at lunchtime and take a lunch nap to get through the day. And I didn't really crash out till the very end of the day. So I didn't take my lunch till towards the end of the day. And then, took my lunch, had like probably a 10-minute power nap, and, finished a little bit of work, loaded out, went back. And then I came here, ate a quick dinner, and now I made it through the whole show. Like I'm proud of myself. Like, I mean, we're rolling up into 9 o'clock. We might clip it at 9:30. I don't know if we got any questions. Joker's in the building. Shout outs to the homie Joker. Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I like coffee. I just don't want to excessively, like, if I can make it more efficient, then I'm going to do that. Like, if I can figure out ways to make things more efficient, like we're rolling into spring, summer, it's going to be smoothie season where I can just like crack some eggs into a blender with some lettuce and some protein powder and some frozen vegetables and make these amazing nutrient packed smoothies with chia seeds and all sorts of different powdered fruits. And oh yeah, so Luke, it's like Rise. It's a different brand, but Rise was the reason that I originally looked at it. But then I saw some reviews on Rise that says it has some extra stuff that you don't need. No, Space is just ask the question, bro. I'll answer the questions again. I'm fine with that. Later, Hermes. Get some rest, brother. Thanks for swinging through. But yeah, no, Spaces, ask the question. That's fine. If you guys show up late and have the same questions from earlier, I'll just re-answer them. Because you never know. I might have a slightly different answer. Kind of like Chat GPT. If you ask it the same question over and over again, sometimes it varies. It has some different thoughts. Like earlier Ray was not necessarily as hype as end of show Ray. We don't know. I'm on an ascending scale here. I'm going to drink the rest of my water. But yeah, no, Spaces, ask the question. I'll answer it again. I don't care. I'm excited. I'm excited about this bull run. No, see, that's the thing, Spaces. We don't do sugar in the mornings. I try not to. It took me a long time to wean myself off of that, but like I don't do any additional sweeteners. It actually doesn't taste bad. It tastes like coffee. The issue that I had this morning was you have to use like a teaspoon of the coffee substitute, but I think I used too much water because I just filled my deal up like I normally do. And I think this is for 1 cup of coffee. And like the coffee that I make in the morning, it's like 1.5 cups. Uh-oh, Jon Snows. Hold up. Let's see here. Hold on. cane sugar is natural, but it's the way that it spikes your glucose isn't good for sustained energy. Like your body doesn't. You want to train your body to not run off sugar. Like it's not healthy. And this coming from somebody who loves candy. Like I do like sugar. It's just first thing in the morning. Like if I add a sweetener, like even if I add honey, like if I add natural honey that's local, because I do that also for my allergies. I've shifted to having it in the afternoon, because if I have it in the morning, it like fucks my day up. Like I have like a weird crash at like 10 or 11 o'clock and I'm tired. Like I don't like doing that. I like sustained energy until it's time to go home. Okay, hold on. Any comments or opinions about another halving or any altcoins you think might go somewhere? Most of the altcoins are going to go somewhere. It's subject to I do. So if you want to know about what I have specifically, Luke, every Wednesday morning I drop a video that's literally an update of my portfolio, of what I actually hold. It's the top 10 coins that I have in my portfolio at any given time. They're pretty stagnant because I do liquidity providing, so it's usually the same coins. But during the bull run, it's going to get interesting, because as some of those coins start to pop off, they'll start to move. The list moves around a little bit more. But I think so. The way this works, at least every other halving that I've been in, the other two, Bitcoin goes crazy after, and normally we're on a fast timeline, because we haven't done the Bitcoin halving yet. But Bitcoin goes, then it kind of tapers, it pulls back a little bit, and then altcoins go nuts. And then after the altcoins go nuts, NFTs go nuts, and then we kind of have like the blow off top for everything. And then there's a dip. Well, which is normally a cliff for most coins. But this time around, I'm wondering what the dip's going to look like. Because like I'm used to like the end of the bull run is like a cliff and you jump off of it and it's anywhere from like 70 to 90% pullbacks for everything. And so for me, I just normally park all my stuff over into Bitcoin and Ethereum and just ride it out and then buy more and then get ready for the next bull cycle. But since we have these ETFs, it's gonna be a lot different. And then Jon Snow's in the building. Shout out to Jon Snow. AOS. Hold up. I'm gonna look it up. So I don't even know what that is. Oh, okay. Let's see what they're trying to do. How long has this coin been around? Oh, Jesus. It's on a tear. Oh, wow. Okay, so this has been around for a while. I'm surprised this never hit the radar. Hold on. It disappears. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so all right, we're gonna go to the website. We're gonna do a little bit deep in for Web3 storage streaming. Oh, okay. Reliable pinning infrastructure, collaborative and decentralized AI computations now available to anyone, anywhere. So, in regards to this, I am new to this ecosystem, but I do see that the website looks decent. I'll go ahead and just pull this up and we can look at it together. I do see that the website is decent, so I like that. And it's AI storage and streaming. Okay. I mean, AI is one of the hot narratives. Like that's good. And then we are well well off. We got a little bit of leg room from the all-time high. So like I also like when I look at stuff, that's also something that I find interesting, especially when we're dealing with bull run tokens, because like I base stuff off of the previous all-time high, and this has been around a little while. 3 years. That's actually a long time in the crypto space. And the previous all-time high was 265. I mean, I don't know a lot about it personally, but I mean, it definitely does not look bad from, I mean, it's fitting into a narrative and it's going to be, it's useful. What's going on, John? John, Bag Chaser's in the building. So, on a spot, if you add MCT oil and ghee to the coffee, you get energy and healthy fats. So that way it's not giving you a false sense of being full. You actually your body has something to nom on in there as well. Because yeah, I don't just drink straight coffee and do that. Like I do ghee, MCT oil, and collagen powder, which has protein in it as well. So like my coffee actually is a substitute breakfast. I just don't like eating. It takes too long, and I can just sip on coffee on the way to work and be done with it. But yeah. So it depends on what your strategy is, John. The way that I look at stuff is I have a metric at which I take my money off the table, and it's normally between 200 and 300% during a bull run. And then generally speaking, after that, I'll continue to like, so if I pull it 200 or 300%, then 400 or 600%, I'll take another cut and I'll roll that into something else. But it depends on what your plan is. Like my strategy might not necessarily be your strategy, but I definitely tell people you should at minimum get your initial investments out, because that's the money you worked for, and then you can gamble and play with the house money, so that way if you go to zero, you're not sitting there going, oh, I lost everything and my money. Like that's a terrible position to be in. But it all depends on the way that you have your strategy that you run. Like if you don't have exit strategies, though, you need to figure that out as soon as possible before the numbers start getting real stupid. Because if you don't, you're going to have problems during the bull run. Also, that's the reason I tell people, and I mean, I guess since Luke and everybody's here, I'll give you guys a little bonus since family's in the building. We'll do that. So this is the way that my portfolio is set up right now. And like, I've already started exiting positions into my Ethereum that goes on my ledger that never comes out. But this is what we're looking at. And like, this is the reason I tell people, I'm like, you should be tracking your trades, because you don't know where you're at in a position if you don't otherwise. Like it's perplexing to me when I talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, I've got this and this is what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, so like how up are you on that position? Well, it's up more than when I bought it. Like how much exactly? And when I'm talking about how much exactly, like it's this, like you should know, you should be able to look at your portfolio and be like, hey, I know that I've hit 200% on Synapse. So I could start looking at that and go, do I want to get my initial investment out of that position? Yes or no? If not, why? What's it doing? This specifically position is a no for me because it is a liquidity position. So it's generating income. So I'm not pulling those funds out. Oh, You guys aren't looking at this. Okay. Well, here, hold on. Let me share this and put it back on the screen. I'm talking to you about something you can't even see. Okay. So, and then let me zoom that in for you. Can we see it a little bit better? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is my portfolio, as you can see. So the staked Ether position that's down 9.6% was because I did a conversion when Ethereum was peaking, if you would. And so, you know, we took a little hit on that, but it's an income generating position because it's a staked Ethereum position. So that just grows. So that'll eat that 10% up over time. And there's no intent on selling it. So that's the other caveat there. We've got Solana, which anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a huge fan of it, but I am a huge fan for the bull run. And so that's the number one altcoin position. Oh. Space has said he used to drink Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee with liquid sugar oh Lord, until he realized that he was drinking a day's worth of sugar in one small cup. Bro, Dunkin' Donuts coffee is a guaranteed way to get me to blow your bathroom up, bro. Like, I don't know what they do with the coffee there. I mean, it tastes good, but within 10 minutes, bro, I got to go praise that porcelain goddess. What? Dude, Spaces said Dunkin' Donuts had him going the whole day. Dude, if Dunkin' Donuts worked on me like that. So I think Spaces is because I got ADD or something, that like a lot of caffeinated stuff makes me tired also. And Dunkin' Donuts falls under that list. Like I was actually really, I can't wait to do this new mushroom coffee when I'm not exhausted, because it did work really well today. So I think this might be the secret ticket for me. Luke said, yeah, bro, Starbucks is the same. 100%, dude. Like, I think they just be putting like eye drops in your coffee. And then there's like, yeah, 10 minutes. This dude's about to blow it out. Like, it's wild. I don't know. But yeah, so this is what we're looking at. And like, so I track all my stuff because I need to be able to see it. And not only do I need to be able to see it, I need to be able to have action items. And like, I use CoinGecko. I also use Delta Investment Trading app, which has my notifications on it. So it lets me know, like, I get a text message when I hit a metric where it's like, hey, you might want to make a move on this, or like, hey, it's time to pull your initial investment out of this position or whatever. But I like being able to see it. I like being able to see how my portfolio, like, I like the little pie chart that they give you here. Like, obviously, now that we're back up above 70%, we're back up above 32% for the life of the portfolio, which we started in December, which is when I switch over every year. December's the rollout month. So we are March. Yeah. 4 months in, more or less. Pretty nice. Not doing too bad at all. And then, you know, you can like squeeze down through here and see. So like, this makes it easy for me to see which positions I'm looking to buy into as well. Cause like, I buy my weak positions. So like Osmosis, I might buy some more of that because it's around 10%. Celestia, also around 10%. We're down 10% on both of those. Further down, we got Whales Market, which is an active one that we're working on, down 27%. We might be doing another buy on that also. Velindrome Finance, though, this bad boy. Oh yeah, we're doing some numbers there. One of my best performers this year so far is Super. We were up 10x, or no, it was 1,000%. It was 1x, not 10x. But we did another buy. We did a secondary buy. And so after we did the secondary buy, it dropped it down to where we're just at 100% now. which is fine because we're looking to take that ride during the bull run. Currently sitting at 138. If you look at the previous all-time high for Superverse, it was 474. So we got some headroom to go up. Always a good thing. And yeah, that's. Oh, geez. She said, yep. After she stopped drinking coffee, it took her about 4 months to recover and reset. See, I didn't. So me stopping drinking coffee, it's not like I'm not doing anything and just having breakfast. I'm doing the coffee substitute. And so the mushroom coffee substitute is just better for you, but it still has 50 milligrams of caffeine in it. So you still get a little something, but you're not like shocking your system. And I'm just saying, I think it works really well because I went to sleep at like 2 this morning or later. I was up late. And then I got up at 5:30. So I only slept for like 3.5 hours. And then I think collectively throughout the day, I've added another 10 minutes of sleep. So, I'm pretty sure that like if I start off not tired, that stuff might have freaking gave me the strength to take over the world. And I wasn't in a terrible mood all day. And normally when I'm tired, I'm in a terrible mood. I was hungry though. And I did get a slice of breakfast pizza from Quick Trip, which is not good for you, but a great source of calories. So, because that's how Ray functions when he's sleepy. I just keep eating. And if I eat, I can stay awake. And I definitely ate everything in my lunch and drank all my water. Like I was a wild man today. And I'm going to have a chopped salad after this. That's what I'm going to do. Before I go to bed, I'm going to make me a chopped salad. Because I didn't eat any of my chopped salads this week because it was cold. And chopped salad's cold. But today, it got warmer. So we're going to have chopped salad. Like I'm sitting up here hot right now. I took my vitamins. My end-of-day vitamins, my pre-bedtime vitamins. I'm ready to go. I'm healthy. And then it's the weekend for me, so I get to have candy. It actually, okay, so Spaces asked, how does the mushroom coffee taste? The brand that I got actually doesn't taste bad. It doesn't. It kind of, I think I used too much water though, because like the way that they have you parse it out, I think they have it parsed for like a single cup of coffee. And I put mine in my thermos, which is like basically a cup and a half. So I think I used too much water, but I could definitely taste the flavor, and it didn't taste bad. It just took a lot longer for it to cool down. I feel like the coffee cools down. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't use the blender. Because I was rushing. I just made it in the cup, and it was my thermal cup, and it. Okay. Jon Snow's got one more for me before we get up out of here. So, okay, I got one more for you. Tau, it's not on any centralized exchanges, but has low supply. Would you touch this or stay away? Let's see. I'll take a look at Tau. What do we got? Tau. Ah, gotcha. Oh. Huh. Open source protocol. Huh. Okay. Oof. So this one is going to fall into that narrative as well. You said it's not on any centralized exchanges. Where is it? Yeah, it is. It's just not on centralized exchanges here. So the issue is it's not on. So the low supply is good. The thing that I'm noticing is like this might actually be geo blocked from the US, period. Because like it's on centralized exchanges. It's not on any dexes. Like you can't get this in DeFi. Let's see, average. Because yeah, it's on Q. Oh wow, something weird is going on Qcoin. Because yeah, these are all regular deals. I mean, yeah, this one's a gamble, and they're geo locked out of the United States. Like that's just not a fun one unless you have access. Like if you've got access to an exchange that's outside the US, then like it could be a play. The issue is it's very high cost of entry, and it's very high cost of entry, but it's in the artificial intelligence category. Previous all-time high was 21 days ago. Oh, you might be catching a falling knife on that one. Like so one of the things that I look at that here I'll show you are a couple of key metrics when I'm using CoinGecko and I'm doing my research. I always look at the all-time high. You want to know when it hit the all-time high. It hit the all-time high 21 days ago. So this is now in price discovery. So it's a question of, do you believe that this is going to continue to go up or not? Because there's no metric within 21 days besides it's already in all-time high range, which puts it back in price discovery, which means it could be any price. It could go up another $10 over the previous all-time high and then like drop back down again. Like you don't know. And so it's a question of, do you believe that this coin is going to go higher at that point? I prefer coins that have a set all-time high that's probably 12 months out or more ago, like last bull run maybe. And then you can gauge and go, okay, so this bull run, we're probably going to touch it. We're probably going to touch the last all-time high if it's a project that's worth a shit. How much leeway do I have between here and there? And then I'll set my price target for me to get out of a position with my money at the previous all-time high or close to it, or 200 to 300% if you have that much of a headroom between where the price is at now, and go, okay, well, it's probably going to hit the all-time high, the previous all-time high. I'm guessing it's going to get around that range. And if it's over 2 to 3x, and then Own a Spot asks, hold on, Murda's in the building. I got to drop something for him. Hold up a second. I'm going to answer this question right after we drop our respects for our homie.
Is he our number one fan, or are we his number one fan? Either way, say hello to Murder 100 in the chat.
Own a Spot said, is supply good or no? It is. Low supply is good in some cases. It just depends on where it's distributed. Like if it's fully diluted and it's all circulating supply and it's got low supply, that just means the token's going to have more value, basically. Or it should. We talking about crypto tonight, Murder. What's going on, brother? How we doing? He said, how long? Murder wants to know how long I plan on holding. Now, my core coins, my Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink, indefinitely. I mean, the only one that I might consider, like, I'm setting my brokerage account up right now so that I don't have to touch them ever at all. Like, I might once leveraging comes back to the United States, I will leverage my crypto, but I will never sell it probably at all. Now the stuff that I have, my altcoins that I have for the bull run, different story, because those will get converted over to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. With the exception of like a few projects that I do enjoy, that I like using, I have some minimum metrics that I'll keep. But outside of that, it's going to be all going into the stuff that I'm long on, and then it'll all get moved over to the ledger, and we'll keep it moving and be building up our net worth. And Onaspot said that the mushroom coffee substitutes do not taste like regular coffee. The one I got is close. It's close. It's pretty close. Like it didn't taste completely awful. And I remember back in the day, the last time I tried to do mushroom coffee, it was not good. And they've tweaked the recipe. And so this one kind of tastes like a Colombian blend. And yeah, and when the creamer comes in, that's going to also be interesting. I don't know how that's going to go, but I mean, I'm a bad judge on that, because like I would eat rocks if they had vitamins in them. So that's not saying much, because like I have a palate it can go one of two ways. I either want stuff really sweet or I don't care. And when it comes to my coffee, I don't really care how it tastes. So, but yeah. So we're rounding out, got the last 5 minutes. We got any last questions before we shut it down so that Ray can go get his sleep? Because I did rock this out for you guys. I've pulled up, showed out. But like, anybody ever get so sleepy that like their heart don't beat right no more? That happened to anybody? Because it happens to me when I get real tired. Like my body just stops trying to function, and like my heart's just like, nah, bro. And then I don't want to breathe, and then I go to sleep and I feel better when I wake up. I think it's because I die a little bit when I go to sleep when I get this tired. But I'm here for it. I'm going to have my salad first. There's a high probability I'm going to crash out on the couch. It could happen because I'm exhausted. Oh no. I like it. I like it. Oh, okay. I got two more. I'm going to do these two more. So okay, I got three things I appreciate you guys. So Murda said, do you think playing these random fly-by-night fancy name coins can be a quick in and out play that can be profitable? I mean, for people who get lucky, sure. But I there's no skill in this. That is luck. And I'll say that. Also, it's not sustainable, so it's not something that I personally would do. That's just not how I get down. I put in a lot of work. I went ahead and, put my 10,000 hours in and actually learned how this space works. And, I prefer results that are repeatable and lasting. That's kind of my MO. Like, I'm not trying to get lucky so that I can just be stuck trying to figure out how to get lucky again. Like that's like trying to run around getting struck by lightning twice. Like that sounds like a lot of work, and it might not happen. Like it shouldn't have happened the first time. So, I mean, it can be. You're going to see. Well, and here's the thing. I say that it can be, but like, honestly, consider like the wins that you hear about in regards to that specific echelon of the space, it's never really verified. Like, I mean, I've seen cars, and every once in a while you'll see a Tesla and it's got like a BTC license plate, and I'm like, cool, that guy won. I've seen a license plate that said ETH. I've never seen the Doge car. I've never seen the Shiba Inu car. Like, I see people talk about how they got so much money on YouTube, but there are also people that are paid to be on YouTube. So did you get the money from crypto, or are you getting it because you got a bunch of people watching you talk about all the money that you made on YouTube? Like, because they don't track their portfolios. Like, nobody else shows their portfolio. Like, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, everybody knows all the coins that I'm in. Most of the people in this space just tell you what coins they're in. They're not tracking a portfolio, even in a hypothetical sense, to be like, hey, like, we entered here. This is what it's done. Look at the numbers. They have changed. That is green. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Okay. So moving on. Spaces asks, can I elaborate really quick on what I was saying about withdrawing from your 401k? So for me personally, I don't believe in 401ks at all. I consider them failure funds. I always have. That's always been the mentality, is like, if I get to a point to where I need a 401k, something has gone wrong, because that means I failed at generating any type of lasting income in the real world at the beginning, which means that I got to work till I'm 70 and some shit's gone bad. Because I don't think I'm going to want to work till I'm 70, unless it's like managing a portfolio or asset strategy or something along those lines. Definitely not busting my back at 70. So what I do with my 401k, and the first time I did it was when I got into crypto. So like when I first decided to go all in on crypto, I cashed out my 401k and I was like, oh shit, that's like an extra 20 grand. And so ever since then, like every 3 years or so, I'll check and see what my balance is. And if it's between $10,000 and $20,000, I'll collect that. I'll take that money and just pay the taxes on it, and I move it over into my active asset holdings. And the reason I do that is because, technically speaking, you aren't supposed to have access to your 401k or your Roth until you retire. And I'm like, I'm planning on having money before I retire. Like, I'm planning on having enough income to go do the shit that I want to do before I retire. Wheel Crypto said, great stream. Grab a small bag of HOA. See, I'm going to have to HOA. Okay. I'll go look into it. I really think I might do like a little sidebar $500 meme coin portfolio and just like throw a few meme coins in there. Do like $50 to $100 buys and just see what happens. He said, last question, how does it affect your tax refund? It pushes up your annual income. So like it does boost up like what you're getting at that point, but so on those years, I don't need the tax return. Like, I mean, honestly, like, just to be like fully transparent, but when I pull it out from my job, they pay it out in taxes. It drives up your taxable income. So on those years, I get a little bit less on my tax return, but my tax return just gets invested anyway. 90% of it. Like, I gave myself this year, I did a breakdown on it. I gave myself 10% of my tax return to like go do stuff with, and I just bought clothes. Like, I bought my summer clothes. Like, my tax return is just a kicker to invest. So I don't use it for anything. Like, it just goes straight into the market. And I mean, that's one of the things that I guess one of the ways that crypto like kind of warped the way that I look at money is because since you can buy fractions and pieces of crypto, I literally look at everything as though it's like, I'm like, I could have bought some additional crypto with that. Like, I could have bought whatever. And so like once I got into the space, and this is a decade ago, little over a decade ago now, I stopped using my tax return to buy shit. Like, I would literally just dump the whole thing into the cryptocurrency market and just invest it. Oh, well, A 401k. Okay, Murder says a 401k is a scam that the powers that be came up with specifically to eliminate your pension plan that you once were entitled to for the rest of your life. I mean, there's only certain things that had pensions though. Like let's keep it a bean. Now those I mean, paying for anyone for the rest of their life is expensive. Also, I don't go to work expecting my job to take care of me. Like I've always, since I was 16, was like, this shit's on me. Like I knew that this shit, the stuff that we're facing right now, I knew that no one was coming to save me from the get-go. Period. I mean, I think more or less the 401k, I agree with you that it's a scam, but I just think it's a scam to give people hope so that they work until they're 70. Like they just need you working and paying taxes. And then depending on how you strategize that, you're going to be paying taxes at the end of your life anyway. So oh, dang. Spaces said he got a 401k and a pension through his job. See, that's what I'm saying. You win in Spaces. I mean, I don't know. Like I would rather have access to that money because I'll be able to get that money generating money. And then the income that it generates, I want access to it before I'm 70. Like it's the only scam that the only part of it that I don't agree with is the way that it's presented to working class people. It's made to make working class people continue to work because so say you manage your 401k perfectly and you hit a lick in your 401k and now you're rich. You technically aren't supposed to have access to that money until you are 70. So you still have to go to work. And then like the 401k plans that like companies provide, they're garbage. They're hot shit. Like they don't perform well. They don't do their job well, and you have to pay fees. Like that's the kicker for me. It's just like I don't like if they make once they start getting some stuff where you have access to Bitcoin and like that's going to be the aggressive plan, it'll be worth it. But the 401k plans as they are, I'm like, well, I would rather just cash that money out and have a bunch of fucking Bitcoin because Bitcoins perform better than my 401k, those target plans, like because you get cookie cutter plans. Like that's the issue is like, it's just cookie cutter plans. And like, they don't allow you to manage them. And yeah, it's just not. He said, I'm not letting that 3 to 6% match go. Roll it into an IRA and invest yourself. You can invest BTC through retirement's account now. That's true. But I mean, I still get the 3 to 6%. I mean, I match. I do up to the company match. I just cash that shit out every 3 years to have it. Like I'd rather have that front run into assets that I have access to because technically speaking, even in a Roth, you're not supposed to have access to it until you're 70. Like those are failure funds, in my opinion. Like I would rather have all of that money in an active account that I am managing that generates income so that I can use it to pay for my house and all my core expenses. And then I can go do whatever the hell I want because then technically speaking, if I want to take a month off, I don't have to have a job. And that my job says, no, you can't do that. I can just fucking quit. And I don't have to have a job. Like the game that's being played for me, the game that I'm playing is to get all of my assets acquired as soon as possible and to get them to cover all of my core expenses. So that way I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. Like I'm not the type of person who calls in sick. Like at my company, I'm a partner in the company. They can tell you how many times I've been out of the office, which is basically never. And usually if I do have to take a day off, it's because I've like really fucked myself up. Like, so it's not necessarily that, but like if I want to go do something, I want to be able to go do it. I do not want anyone to tell me, no, you can't go do that and then still have to go to work because the only way that I can get the money that I need to like cover myself until I get another job is to cash out of my 401k or sell my house. Like I'm not doing either of those things. Like just give me the money. I can handle it. We'll get the income coming and we gonna just keep it pushing. Like exact. See, On the Spot gets it. Operation Time Freedom. He said, should I buy and sell or buy and hold, renovate, rent, and rent out? I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I don't know. I like renovating. I like buying and holding. I mean, listen, my client that's family is doing commercial jobs that are $500,000 or over right now, and that's all they mess with. They used to own the neighborhood that's up the street from my house. I'm not talking about like a house in the neighborhood. They own the entire street and then a few blocks off of the main road that has all the commercial real estate on it. And he told me the one thing that he wishes he would have never done was sold any of his houses. He said never give up a piece of property until you have to. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you're talking about, yeah, there's no such thing as a free house. Like they want you to do something with it. They're not you gotta, well, I mean, you could go get the dollar house, but you could also get a construction loan to renovate from a bank that does construction loans. And then you also, if you have a construction loan, you don't owe anything up front. Construction loans front you the money and you pay them back on the sale of the house. Or if you don't sell it, you can just convert it over into a traditional loan and then you can live in it. But yeah, they're not just going to give you a house for $1 just so that it can stay dilapidated. Like they need the area fixed. But yeah. They said, all right, let's go to bed. Operation Assets Pay My Bills. Yes. See there, On the Spot gets me. But yeah, until next week, I'm gonna have to go see what the topic is next week. But we'll be back next week. I will be less tired, I promise. Like we're definitely not staying up and trying to run work and a show on 3 hours of sleep next week. It's not happening. We don't do this 2 weeks in a row. I'm getting older. I got to be more responsible. I'm gonna be an adult. But I want to remove that. But until next week, but before we do that, we gotta give our salutes and salutations and shout outs to everybody who stopped through tonight, because we had some hitters in the building. We had Murda 100 obviously came hype at the end, kept me up past my bedtime. Respects. We got John Snows, Spaces, Joker, Travel One tapped in for a little bit. OX Hermes was in the chat going hard, asking the good questions and giving the insight and context. Lady Navoa was in the building. Will Crypto was in the building. We got my little brother Luke was in the building. We had a good night tonight, peoples. It was so much fun. I'm telling you, I got the best chat in these YouTube spaces. It's a small group. We have good conversations. Next week, we're going to be back on these hard-hitting topics with the open panels. Until next time, we'll be back next week, same time, be around. Actually, next week, I'm on call, so we will probably be starting at 6:30 next week. I need to actually go check and or adjust the time for next week because, yeah, we'll be back on regular schedule. I am on call, so that means I get off a little bit early. So 6:30 will most likely be the start time next week, but I'll be tapping in with you guys then. I'm in Kansas, so it's Central Time Spaces. I'm not sure what that transpires. Oh yeah, no. Everybody knows where I live, dude. I live in Kansas City. Like I'm in Kansas City, Kansas now. I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, but I'm on the Kansas side now because the taxes are better. So, Oh, snap. Brady's in the building. Why are you here? Brady, shut up. Brady, you're not my biggest fan because you haven't hit me up since you're going to school near here. You jerk off. You're not my biggest friend. You don't Snapchat me no more. Brady, listen, Brady Jackson, shout out to Brady. This guy went to school, went away to college, and then just never talked to me again. I'm chopped liver. I talk to your father more than you, Brady. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed. But anyways, no, I'll snap you later. Yeah, spaces. We're in the same time zone. You're 8 hours away. Totally true. Brady, you went to college and threw me away like old shoes. Old shoes, Brady. That's why you changed my name in your phone to Old Shoes. So that's what I am. But yeah, until next week, everybody. And remember, we will be starting about 6:30 next week because I am on call, so I should be off a little bit earlier. So around 6:30 next week, but we'll be back. Murda, that is a terrible troll question. He said, do you think it's justifiable if a man sleeps with a pillow between his legs? If he's got a back problem, maybe. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Oh, God. Best chat on these YouTube streets, man. Oh my goodness. Good night, folks. Until next week. Peace. Y'all are wild. Wild.